Hi, my name is Dani Guzman. I am a senior art director and I also illustrate tiny renderings of buildings. The way I got into illustration was my mom put me in drawing classes. I went to art school in Philly, so I basically have been drawing since I was like 4 years old. I started initially drawing buildings in Philadelphia. These are the buildings that made me fall in love with architecture. When I first start, I like to go up to the building myself. I feel like super creepy because I'm like, "Oh." And sometimes people have seen me they're like peeking through their window. I'm like, sorry, I'm just taking pictures of your house. Don't mind me. I was having my birthday party combined with my other friend. So I basically drew the invitations for it. Somebody said to me at that party when they saw the invitation, they were like, you should start a business out of this. And I'm like, okay, I think I could get into that. So once I started Exteriors by Dani, just people started spreading the word. So I just made these postcards that had the illustration on the front and it just had like a couple paragraphs of my story. And I just went throughout Rittenhouse and put these postcards in people's mailboxes. And that night I got like 3 emails for people that wanted their house drawn. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. Every agency I've ever worked at, I've always tried to implement my illustration style. In pharma specifically, we want the viewer to feel more comfortable. We want them to be able to relate to things more. And I feel that my illustration style is able to take these really heavy pieces and illustrate them in a way where it makes it kind of like a work of art. I think the exterior that I'm most proud of is the one of my boyfriend's parents' house. His mom just gutted the whole thing and put her whole heart and soul into it. So I drew the house. There's this detail where I messed up the part of the window where it says Venez-voir, and I had to cut it out of the paper, and then I just pasted a piece of paper behind it. So it kind of looks like 3D. I'm like, all right, well, that was a beautiful mistake. And we were at a Christmas party. And so I just gave her the bag with the framed illustration in it. And she opened it and she started weeping. And from that moment, I'm like, wow. So it's not only just a cool piece for you to have, it's something that is a part of your soul. I'm like, dang, I need to do this more often. I think the older I've gotten, I have just realized you kind of have to be your own advocate. No one's going to ask you to do something. You kind of have to show the world you can do something. This makes me want to just clock out and go draw.